What's up guys, it's Widgeon TV here. Just a jump east of the White Springs Resort lies the West Tek building. West Tek is known as one of the pre-war companies that helped create the T-51 power armor, and more importantly, they led the research on the Pan-Immunity Virus project, also known as the Forced Evolutionary Virus, or FEV. The building is defended by a garrison of super mutants, so it's pretty easy to conclude what we're gonna find in here. Let's enter. We enter what appears to be a pretty normal lobby, with a big sign saying West Tek Research. We can walk over to the front desk terminal right here. No tours. Another reminder, please be more vigilant of uninvited guests entering the lobby. We had an incident this morning where a random stranger entered the complex and approached the front desk. They looked and appeared like they were ready for an interview. Suit and tie, briefcase, and they said they were here for a company tour. This person was not on the list of names for the day, and the security office was notified immediately. Remember, this building is a secure facility. We are prime targets for corporate espionage, sabotage, or investigative reporting. If you see something, say something. Intramail. Recruitment. Look, Dick, I know you think it's funny throwing these BS degree kids my way, but I'm sick of it. The best candidate we've had in months was Ella Ames, who, as I'm sure you remember, rejected us. No thanks to you and your half-ass outreach. I'm giving you one last chance to prove that you're good at your job. Her father will be lucky if he sees the end of the month. Once he's gone, you'll need to be there to point her in the right direction. You've got her address, but from what I'm hearing, she's also joined up with those Free States fanatics. If she's not home, she has a bunker somewhere. So find that location, we need her. Once she's here, then we can talk promotion. Michelle. As you all know from my last video, Ella Ames is part of the Free States. She's working on a new technology called the Rad Shield. Go check out my video on the Free States if you want more information. Moving further into the facility, we have to cut our way through a ton of super mutants. They were between level 16 and 22 for me, so keep that in mind if you're coming this way. On our way to the back of the facility, I didn't find a ton of great loot, unless you're after microscopes and glassware. We eventually come to a room with vaulted ceilings, with garden planters placed all around the edges. We can assume they were experimenting on the plants with the Forced Evolutionary Virus to see if they could grow faster or have other positive mutations. Here at this terminal, we can find out more. Greenhouse Initiative. Congratulations, your team has been selected for a new pilot program, the Greenhouse Initiative, an extension of the Pan-Immunity Virus project. This initiative dares to test the application of new mutations on edible plants and vegetation in a controlled environment. Your existing facilities will soon receive necessary upgrades for these brave new experiments. A classified memo containing full specifications and arrangements will be forthcoming. Forge ahead and light the way. Will you be the key to ending the plague of world hunger? Anything is possible at West Tek. Greenhouse Initiative. Hello staff, I'm sure you've seen the announcement, but it is true, we are moving on. The greenhouse's original purpose was to facilitate and control the production of GM foods in a safe, practical manner. This new initiative will be radically shifting away from that. I don't know the full details yet, but I believe it will be a manufactured mutagen. Access and transport of the mutagen is slow with lots of red tape. It will be several months before we begin experiments in full swing. I'll be sending out tasks to clean out your greenhouses and prepare for control samples soon. If you have any questions, please come see me in my office, or wait until the official memo hits your desk. This interview does not void most of your contracts. Please come see me to discuss your existing terms and any possible transfers. I am more than happy to address any concerns. Sincerely, Dr. Wilford Demont, PhD. So it sounds like they were going to cancel their research on these plants to move on to something else. From the sounds of it, their next project was going to be dangerous. So could this next project be the FEV strain that created the super mutants? Well, we're gonna have to push further into the facility to find out more. Moving up into the control room, we can, for the first time, see these large FEV tanks that West Tek used for its experiments. We can learn more about it on this terminal. Technician's log, July 16th, 2077. Not much to report today. The FEV tanks are starting to spring some leaks where the feeder lines are connected, but it shouldn't take more than a day or two to swap out the O-rings. It's messy work, but luckily Spielman drew the short straw and he'll have to stand ankle deep in the sludge until we can properly get it cleaned up. This FEV is volatile stuff. It's degraded the vulcanized rubber on those seals like it was acid. Strangely, there's no acidic content to it at all. It must have affected the O-rings on a molecular level. Kinda makes me wonder if it's safe having it pooling up on the floor. Technician's log, August 2nd, 2077. Chadwell fell into one of the tanks today, poor bastard. He was wearing full biohazard gear, but he was most certainly dead when they pulled him out. The suit must have gotten breached on the way in or something, because he never even came up for air or called for help. We didn't even know he had fallen in until they drained the tank. Man, that twisted look on Cadwell's face. It's giving me the creeps just thinking about it. Thank God West Tek's giving us that hazard pay bonus, otherwise I'd be out of here. Technician's log, October 23rd, 2077. Holy shit, everything's gone to hell. I cannot believe those idiots actually did it. They blew up the goddamn world. Luckily, we were inside of the facility when the bombs hit. Supervisor Bradwell begged us to stay with the FEV tanks until he checked with the top brass. But all the communication lines are down. Spielman and I are thinking about bolting, but I guess we'll give Bradwell a day to figure out what we're going to do. It's not like I have a home to go back to anyway. Boy, it kinda seems like they're talking nonchalant about the end of the world. Maybe it's just how this is written, but it kinda seems like they don't really care that they don't have a home to go back to. Technician's log, October 30th, 2077. Bradwell decided to head out and make contact with the US Army in Huntersville, but that was 6 days ago, and he hasn't come back. He told us if everything went south, to dump the neutralizing agent into the FEV tanks. Spielman and I followed orders and made sure that the job was done before we abandoned West Tek. We confirmed that the liquid in the tanks was neutralized, still highly toxic, but at least the FEV was gone. Well, that's it for us. I'm going to stick with Spielman for a while, and hopefully we can make it somewhere safe, wherever that might be. So according to this tech, the tanks with the green liquid in them are apparently neutralized of any FEV. So it kind of makes you wonder why there's so many super mutants running around. But we have more facility to explore, so let's move on. Just around this rail in the same room as that terminal, we can find a 10mm pistol and a West Tek Research Wing access code. We'll need this here in a second. Backtracking through the greenhouse, we head right of the main hallway, leading us into the FEV tank room. And unsurprisingly, there's a substantial super mutant presence in here. After clearing the supers, we can start to uncover the disturbing truth of what happened in this facility. We see cages with skeletons in them. Now, we don't know if this was done before the war by West Tek, or this was done by the occupying super mutants, but it looks like somebody was dunking these cages in the now neutralized FEV tanks for experimentation purposes, or just to torture the people inside. But staying on course, we find a computer that accepts the access code that we picked up earlier, and surprise, more super mutants behind this door. This new area of the facility was where scientists were experimenting directly on super mutants. Here is test subject K117.
Okay, K117M. In your own words, please describe how you feel.
I feel different. Like my mind is not my own.
Do you remember who you were?
Yes, I was, Billy Sievers, a man living in...
You don't remember where you're from?
No, What's happening to me? Can you make me better?
I'm asking the questions, K117M. If you're patient, I'll help you, okay?
Yes, I understand.
Good. You're doing really well, K117M. Now, one more question. If we asked you to help us, would you do exactly as we command?
Yes. Anything. I just want to go home. Where's my wife?
She's fine, K117M. Calm down, please.
No! What have you done to my wife? bring her to me, now, I'll kill all of you!
Code Red in interrogation room B. I repeat, Code Red!
So here in this holotape, we are witnessing a disturbing transformation of a normal human being into a super mutant. Because the mutants were designed to be weapons, you can hear the interviewer ask, if we asked you to help us, would you do exactly what we command? Of course, he was seeing if the now super mutant would follow orders. But from the end of the tape, it sure sounds like the answer to that question is no. Alright, continuing to explore the facility, we head upstairs into what looks like a destroyed bathroom. We can find subject K120F's personal recording.
When they took me from Huntersville, I thought I was being taken to a hospital. I've been sick for days, but no one at this place seems to care. This room I'm in looks more like a cell. They keep the door locked at all times. The nurse that visits me is the only other person that I've seen since I've gotten here. And he won't talk to me. He keeps giving me injections, but I don't feel any better. What's happening to me? Why is my skin changing color? Do I have a disease? No one will tell me anything. And honestly, I can't stand this anymore. I just want to get out of this place and go home.
In this tape, she explained that she was getting sick from something she was being exposed to in her hometown of Huntersville. This might kind of seem off topic, but when you realize Huntersville is only a couple hundred meters away from West Tek, we can start to speculate why this tape is here. So what's going on in Huntersville? Well, we have one remaining terminal in this facility, and it has all the details for us. Water analysis report for field test site 3A Huntersville. The approved FEV strain has been introduced into Huntersville's water supply, while chlorine dioxide content has been reduced to decrease its effectiveness at disinfecting the virus. No noticeable differences in the water quality should be discernible by the population. We predict infection to be widespread among the test subjects. But due to the nature of this strain, the results may appear slower than the concentrated lab strain. Long-term physical attributes on the test subjects should greatly exceed average human levels, with none of the side effects of previous lab trials. It's funny that they're calling the citizens of Huntersville test subjects in this post. So according to this terminal, they were slowly poisoning the town of Huntersville and killing anyone who tried to leave or wander off. In another terminal we find in the facility, we find out that most of the supermutants we see suspended in liquid originally came from this town of Huntersville. So really, we only have one thing left to do here. Go see what Huntersville is like. So on our approach to the town, we hit light supermutant resistance all the way up until we open this gate. Unsurprisingly, there is a large supermutant force here. Luckily, I had my Gatling laser. After all the mutants are taken care of, we can find a holotape inside of one of the buildings.
Who is it?
U.S. Army, ma'am. Open up, please.
What do you want?
Just open the door, Sherman.
Yes.
On behalf of the U.S. Army and West Tek, you're hereby ordered to hand custody of your child, Dalton Sherman, over to us immediately.
What? Over my dead body. He's sick. He's not going anywhere.
You have no choice. Where is he, ma'am?
Hell, I don't have a choice. You're not moving that child 1 inch, so help me out.
Ma'am, if you don't move aside right now, we'll move you ourselves. Do you understand?
down the knife, Miss Sherman. I won't ask again.
No! Get out of my house! Dalton is only sick. He'll get better. You people can't take him like you took the others. You can't! No, I won't let you!
Hold it! Hold it! God damn it! Corporal Gibbons. Put her in the body bag. Private Zaleski. Go
So we
find
can
her.
see firsthand in this holotape that West Tek was poisoning Huntersville. And not only were they poisoning it, every time somebody would fall ill in the town, a bunch of suits would come pick that person up and return them to the lab so they could do tests on them. I mean, this is pretty crazy stuff. But one of the final terminals that we find is the story of Huntersville as a whole, told from one of its residents. A story of optimism turning into desolation. Things are looking up around Huntersville. We're about 3 months into our rural development grant from the government, and we already have a brand new water recycling system and sewer lines. The days of dealing with dirty well water have finally come to an end. Thomas McDevitt over at the farms even said they're tying new water lines into his irrigation system. I'm not sure how we ever won this grant, but finally this little town has been given a boost that it needs to get back on its feet. Only if he knew what kind of grant this really was. West Tek just finished construction on their laboratory building outside of town. I never thought I'd live to see the day when a major corporation would consider locating one of their facilities here. We are getting lots of traffic to and from the site, and people are spending their money here. I'm even thinking of opening a bakery to sell fresh cookies and bread. Things are looking bright in old Huntersville. We're headed into the holidays and everything's been going well. I've broken ground on my bakery, and I hope to have it up and running by the end of spring next year. West Tek has injected some cash into the town, paying some of the local farmers for testing rights at their farms. Not sure West Tek is working on. Every time I try to strike up a conversation with one of their employees, they clam up and just plain ignore me. Puh, city folks. Can you imagine holding back a secret like that from somebody you're about to poison? Truly evil stuff here. It's been a tough month. Several people in the town have fallen ill, some kind of virus or flu bug. Thomas McDevitt said he was going to head over and chat up one of the West Tek folks to see if one of their doctors can lend us a hand. Not sure what's going on, but it's certainly got a lot quieter around here. The West Tek traffic into town has all but stopped. Just my luck too, I'm a month away from opening up my bakery. Well, since the guys I hired out to build out the place are sick, I suppose it will have to wait. The sickness that hit us around February is getting worse. Thanks to some of the doctors from West Tek, we haven't had any deaths yet. Thomas McDevitt has been able to convince them to lend us a hand, and they sent help. Their doctor says it will be nothing to worry about, just a rare strain of the flu virus. Tell me what kind of flu virus makes your skin start to change color and your hair to fall out. People are starting to get scared. Maybe I'll convince Thomas to hop into his truck and head for Charleston or something to get more help. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Thomas since he went to West Tek. It's because they're experimenting on him right as he's saying this. I don't understand what's going on around here anymore. People are changing. They're turning, well, green, and their bodies are deforming. I don't understand how this could happen from a flu virus. It doesn't make any sense. The doctor from West Tek said the flu virus is highly contagious, and he's confined us to our homes for our own safety. They've even placed guards and gas masks outside to make sure we stay put. What am I supposed to do? I'm scared. This is really sad. Last night, I heard a weird animal-like growling from the Benchleys next door. Then, I swear, I heard Veronica scream, followed by a gunshot. What the hell happened over there? I asked the guard at my door, but he just told me the town was under government quarantine, and that I had to stay indoors. I think I better load my husband's old double barrel for safety, if I can lift it. I'm feeling pretty weak lately, and running a low-grade fever. I hope I haven't caught whatever's going around. This next one has a bunch of clerical errors. Hurts to type, fingers ache, but I need to keep going. What's happening to me? Doctor won't come to house, and I can't get out of bed. Someone please help. So could these mistakes in the typing be from the writer losing her mind? Or maybe the FEV is starting to affect her physical features, and maybe her fingers are pressing more than one button at a time. We may never know for sure, but this story is truly saddening. The emotional swing of thinking West Tek is going to help the town prosper, to realizing West Tek is causing this terrible sickness. This is proof that in the Fallout world, not everything is as it seems. Alright, that's all I have on the West Tek building in Huntersville. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and consider subscribing. It really helps out my small channel. And if you've made it this far in the video, consider subscribing to my channel's membership. It goes a long way in supporting my channel. Also consider following me on Twitter. It's the best place for me to keep in contact with you guys. But anyway, this has been Widgeon TV. Thanks for watching, guys.